The VMI Board of Visitors has appointed a new superintendent, and you're not going to be surprised to learn that it's a white guy. Retired U.S. Marine Corps Lieutenant General David Furness, a 1987 VMI alum, will serve as the Institute's 16th superintendent, taking over the reins for Cedric T. Wins, a 1985 alum and retired U.S. Army Major General, and a black man who was forced out in February in a political takedown engineered by our MAGA governor, Glenn Youngkin. Youngkin appointees on the boards of visitors at VMI, also EVA and George Mason, have had school leaders appointed under Democratic governors in their crosshairs since Youngkin took office in early 2022. Now, the political hatchet jobs that they were put in place to enact gained steam earlier this year with help from the Trump administration, which has targeted DEI initiatives in higher education, providing the subtext for governing boards in states led by MAGA governors, unfortunately like our own, to use DEI as a wedge to effect change at the administrative level. Wins was effectively fired by the VMI Board of Visitors in February when that Board of Visitors declined to extend his contract. Jim Ryan at UVA, whose crime against society is being a white liberal. He's not black, but he's a white liberal, and it's almost as bad as being black to these folks. He was forced out of EVA under direct pressure from the Trump Department of Justice in June. George Mason, President Gregory Washington, a black man, is hanging on to his job by a thread. Wins didn't mince words on his way out the door. Neither did Jim Ryan, but we're going to quote Wins here because this story is about VMI. He said, "My tenure will end because bias, emotion, and ideology rather than sound emotion swayed the board." Wins was hired in 2020 as VMI was forced to reckon with a long history of on-campus racism. Um, so I guess that's over now. More from Wins when he was walking out the door. Their actions undermine the rich legacy of VMI for political gain. Instead of advancing the school from a crucible for principled leaders rooted in our values and a training ground that finds worth in cadets from diverse backgrounds, we risk returning to an obsessive focus on our distant past. He's referring to the unusual idolatry of the Civil War there at VMI, believing it will produce tomorrow's leaders of character. I believe their choice to subject cadets to a cycle of politicization is malfeasance that endangers VMI and the future of our nation. Yeah, I mean, but the Trump administration is, renaming everything after Confederates. So that's the country we live in for at least the next, what, 2.5 years, whatever. Um, Into this ugly atmosphere comes, Furness, who graduated summa cum laude from VMI with a degree in history. He has a couple of master's degrees. Served in the Marine Corps for 36 years, retired in 2023. I mean, he's got a great resume. Prominent roles in the military during the Obama and Biden administrations, which, I mean, if he does something afoul, could be problematic. He was a legislative assistant to the Commandant of the Marine Corps from 2013 to 2017. That's the second Obama administration. Served out his final 3 years from 2020 to 2023 as a three-star general with the title Deputy Commandant for Plans, Policies, and Operations. Two of those years were the first 2 years of the Biden term. Most recently, he's been employed by a bipartisan government relations firm in Florida. Um, Again, impeccable record, and the guy, he's a VMI alum, but we'll just see. He's got marching orders, that are clearly delineated as far as this goes.